Greetings all. I pray all is well. You know, my message is changing the vibration of this planet with love, and what conversations can we have to assist in this process. So this morning as I was getting ready, right, you know, I'm always trying to think of things that's gonna assist this planet or assist this world in being a better place. And I thought, why it would be phenomenal if we had a class from when we was in preschool that was like teaching you about emotions. Just like they have art class and they have health class and they have all those different things, we should have a class just strictly on emotions. Because what I've realized is when you understand emotions and you understand your emotions clearly, you're able to know how to utilize them and you make them work for you, as opposed to you being at the mercy of them. You know what I mean? One of the things that I've noticed working with children is that their inability to express themselves until they know how. And once they know how, it's a whole different ballgame. You know what I mean? And yet, when they don't know how to express themselves based upon their own emotions or verbalize their emotions, it comes out as behaviors. And I've said again, you can see this in adults that never processed or never understood the process of understanding how their emotions work and how to verbalize what they're feeling. So it comes out in crazy ways, whether it's violence, whether it's just bare anger, whether it's spitting venom constantly, you know what I mean? Or just bitterness. But it's coming from a space where not understanding emotions. And this is something that we all have to we utilize. This is a part of human nature. We all have emotions. We all have ways to express them, or the lack of expression, either or. You know what I mean? So it would be wonderful if we had a class that was literally about emotions. And I mean, even from kindergarten, you just put in because you got the movie. What is it? What's that movie with all those different emotions? That cartoon Pixar movie. I can't even remember what it's called, but it's dealing with the emotions, right? So you have that and you can express it. So I'm saying, as a class, you got list all the types of emotions that you can have, and then all the different words that are associated with these emotions, to give people an understanding of how to be able to understand their emotions and express it. If you do this as a child, can you imagine how descriptive our children would be when speaking about their emotions by the time they're 7? It would be a game changer. It would be a life changer. But we need that space to be created as if it is a lesson, it's a class. Because this is why I say that most of the time, you know, the message is changing the vibration of this planet with love, right? Most of the people don't understand what love is and how does that operate and all of that good stuff. They don't understand it. And when you don't understand it, you don't know how to utilize it. If you don't know how to utilize it, you don't know how to respond or react, or you don't know how to. So this is that internal tuning. This is the phase 1 of the 30-day vibrational shift, is internal tuning. If we started this internal tuning as a child, could you imagine where we would be again before they even get out of elementary school? It'd be phenomenal. So by the time they're adults, you've got adults that are mature enough to not only understand each emotion, that they know how to verbalize it and be able to navigate it so that emotion doesn't control them, that they're in control of it. And this is the thing. This is what we're really needing. You know, when we're talking about classes and life and stuff, we need stuff that teaches us the basics of what we've been held back from. It's by design, because if you understand your emotions, you understand how your spirit, your mind, and all of that works, you can't be controlled. But the lack of understanding that keeps the controlling effect, and that's what they want. They want you to be completely dependent, mentally, emotionally, and physically, on a system that is just meant to imprison you mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. But when you start to learn about these things for yourself, you break free from the chains that want to bind you. Why? Because you're a free thinker. You clearly think, you clearly understand your emotions, you clearly understand where you're being emotionally manipulated. You clearly understand what your fears are speaking. You clearly understand what your anger is speaking. Once you understand how these work, you will never be a slave to them again. But as it stands, we're never taught these things, so why would we know? Why do you think people do and go crazy the way that they do? Because they have no way to express themselves clearly. So again, this morning, thinking about this space, I was like, this should be a class. No, I gotta get through this light. This should be a class. This should be an actual class that children go through from, preschool, and that way they get to know these emotions. By the time they get into kindergarten, they're already understanding what the wording is or how they're feeling. They can properly say, I'm frustrated, I'm upset, and I'm upset because such and such did such and such, or I'm upset with you because you shouted at me, or you know, when they have the verbiage to speak, you'll be surprised. Excuse me, I'm a bit congested at the moment, but yeah, I just thought that would be a phenomenal shift in humanity's way of living if we really honed in and had that lesson in schools for children. I mean, it should be a lesson for adults too. Not just from a spiritual perspective, but from a lesson to understanding those emotions and understanding yourself. Just like, you want to take financial literacy classes, you need to understand your emotions, and they're the ones that are governing everything. So don't you think that's a class to take? I would love to see that. You know what I mean? I would love to see that in schools, but as it stands, they don't want too much of free thinkers, do they? Why? Free thinkers are you're not able to control. But that's another story. But anyway, we love you and we love me too. This traffic is mad. Okay, take care. Peace out.